Welcome to another update on our farmlet trial here at our research farm in Elliott, where the farmlet trial is investigating different levels of synthetic nitrogen use and different botanic composition. As you can see here in this paddock, we are now in a phase where in autumn grass regrowth is all leafy, so all in the vegetative state. You still see a lot amount of clover around. Autumn is when peak clover is occurring. We have had paddocks with even up to about 50% clover. Clover is now getting at its tail end of the amount that we get in our paddock, so it will slowly decline now going into winter and into spring. So far the results for growth rate this month have been kind of as we expected. We had low 60s growth rates, which sits a little bit below what the cows can eat. So we have started feeding some silage for two reasons: to extend the rotation length a little bit, anticipating the slower growth rates that we will have going forward, and filling a feed gap when need be. So we just adjust, like all farmers, to the changing conditions going into autumn. Growth rates on itself are, as you would expect. The only limitation that we have now is daylight. Temperatures have still been okay, but the amount of daylight hours have reduced. We can still keep the moisture up quite well with our irrigation, so that's a non-limiting factor. The cow production has been okay. We anticipate a 3 to 5% decline going after peak lactation into late lactation. The last month the production has dropped slightly more than 5%. The whole farm has experienced that a little bit, so not just the farmlets, and we are monitoring what's happening, but everything seems to be on itself okay, and we are still not too far off from where we were expecting to be. One of the major things that we also do at this time of the year is keep an eye on the amount of synthetic nitrogen use. So for this trial we have a maximum amount that we want to apply for the different farmlets. To stay within that maximum amount, we always this time of the year might skip the odd round of nitrogen, because autumn is when there's a lot of clover around that provides nitrogen. And one of the things that we also always do is, after the last grazing for winter, we don't apply nitrogen. We rely on the nitrogen reserves in the soil to grow that grazing that the cows will do in spring, and our experience has been so far that has been working quite well. So we do that because of how our trial is designed. Currently what's happening in the world shows that urea supplies might be a bit limiting, so it could be something that you could consider for your farm. But for us, our approach is as per usual what the research trial requires. One of the things that has been happening and that has been keeping Zach, my colleague, very busy recently is collecting a lot of data and samples from our soil, and he will talk about that a little bit more.
The soils program associated with the main HIGH2 experiment really has an emphasis on understanding the impact of nitrogen and species diversity on soil biological health. Obviously our main trial is mainly about pasture and milk production. We always get a lot of questions around what does nitrogen in particular do to soil biology, and so what we've been quantifying for the last month or so is really the full range of as many soil biological organisms as we possibly can, right from earthworms, different species of earthworms. We've got both the small fieldworm and the large fieldworm abundances being counted. We're measuring the diversity and biomass of the microbes, as well as nematodes, bacterial diversity, potentially mineralizable nitrogen. So yeah, the soils program was designed to answer those questions around biology and around the ability of soil to supply nitrogen. And another thing we've done recently is we've looked at the carbon stocks over time. So we took a load of measurements way back in 2023, 3 years ago, and now right at the end of the experiment we're doing our final intensive sampling. So we're about a week away from finishing all our soil biology work, and then we're going to move into more work on the potential for nitrate leaching by taking some more deep cores and analysing nitrate and ammonium concentrations at different depths. We're also planning to deploy some e-noses in the field in the coming weeks, as well as quite a comprehensive set of soil physical properties measurements. There's going to be a lot of data coming in, a lot to analyse, a lot to look at, and yeah, we're quite excited about seeing possible treatment differences.